Hi everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and we're here doing another mod. Today we are going to be installing the PS360 mod in my Dreamcast stick. In fact, Marco's going to be doing the same for his Kingdom Hearts stick, and probably eventually Timmy will do it for his Fender stick, which is very popular right now.
Yeah. Gotta love a fragile part, bangs it against the stick.
Yes.
Just give it a good tap, dude.
We bought all these parts off of focusattack.com. I know there's a guide on how to do this. We're just going to do our own recording of it. And show the end result. We have bought the special black wiring harness.
You want to take them out of the bubble wrap?
Well, they can see it.
That's good enough.
No, I don't know which color.
Wiring harnesses or bubble wrap.
And this was an extra additional cost, but this should save a lot of time as far as the setup is concerned. Also bought the Dreamcast cable, so you can plug it in a Dreamcast as well as USB. In a later mod, we'll show how to install the quick disconnect. For the time being, we're just going to run the wires out of this thing as is, just for playability's sake today, and we'll do that in the mod in another video. So let's get started. Okay, so we've already put the colors on the back panel here.
Note your stick might be different because we've done 3 sticks now, and the stick wiring colors have been different on a couple of them.
Yeah, so you want to mark down what colors are what from this original board to the buttons. We've already done that.
Just to note as well, usually within here, you'll actually see on both the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version, it actually has the buttons that pertain to each of these colors. So if you don't want to do that, you can also line it up with that.
Yeah, but the button and versus color is still different.
Well, no, I'm just saying if they wanted to use like if they wanted to use all the same color.
Oh yeah, no, if they wanted,
they would have to go
if
with
they
that.
wanted to just do that, yeah. Also, I would say be careful with these, because if you pull them out too hard, you can literally rip this right out of the button, which I've almost done a couple times on a couple sticks.
These parts were also purchased from Focus Attack before these. Originally, the original mod put Sumitsu's. I actually don't really care for those, so these are Sanwa's.
I don't mind the Sumitsu's, that's why they're in the Fender stick.
And
you got your standard. Go paint that silver. Just big tip, make sure to mark your things. Especially before.
So that's
alright, so we're basically gutting all the pieces, and I probably should have mentioned before, this is the Xbox 360 version of the stick. The PS3 one is slightly different. The PS360 mod itself is replacing all of this, and since we got the wiring harness, we don't need the little hub there. So currently Timmy's taking out everything that we don't need from the original stick, and in some ways all we're doing is keeping the chassis.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember which part it is, but actually the PS3 has less parts in it.
The control board at the top actually controls more of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I think it's this board. It doesn't actually exist in the PS3 one. It's actually connected directly to this. The PS3 one's a little bigger in some sense, but you have less room to deal with. But the good thing about the chassis are, because the Fender stick we did was a PS3 stick that I took the guts out of the 360 stick I had and put in there.
You had to route it.
Oh no, I had to route it for the buttons.
Yeah.
Because I used a different plate.
But the chassis is generally the same.
Yeah, the chassis are exactly the same actually.
This was Soul Calibur
4.
Five Soul Stick.
5, that's right. I have
Soul
the
Edition.
4 was the small one, because I have that one too.
It was 5 Soul Edition, which picked up
are
for cheap.
$150 right now on Amazon, might I add. I checked last night.
I got both of mine for 70.
Yeah, no, so did I.
What was that one you showed yesterday?
Oh, $100?
Yeah.
That was the Mad Cats one.
Oh.
That was really nice.
Yeah, for $100, that's not bad.
Well, either way, this stick in the PS3 or 360 edition, the chassis are exactly the same. So all the mounts, like this mount is in the PS3 version.
Same mold.
Same mold up here. It's the same thing. It'll literally fit on either plate. 360 PS3. It's in the exact same spot, same size. But it's got the same mounts for everything, so you're basically like that.
Another thing you should note before you get rid of this real quick, you'll notice that some people will reuse this cable. They'll just solder it back onto the PS360, which is, sorry, a little bit hard to see here. They'll usually take this cable and resolder it onto the PS360. We actually just decided to buy an external cable.
Well, I didn't feel like going through all that trouble because breaking the solder here and then breaking the solder on here and then taking off the glue here while trying to pull it out before the solder hardens up again is a bit of a task. So I mean, if you're gonna plan to do like what I've done on a couple of them, is just cut it, give yourself enough space so it still goes kind of through, but you can still keep it inside, but yet still not past this. You do that so you can strip it and splice it back together, which is real simple. We've done it a couple of times now. It's not as pretty, but it works. It works and it's simple. You solder them back together, then little black tape. It's fine.
We're also going for the easiest install method rather than the prettiest, so
yeah,
it won't be perfect, but it'll get the job done.
Yeah, well, we don't have braiding and all that to actually like harness up
the wiring harness actually.
In a way, this.
Well, yeah, I mean these are, but I'm saying if I wanted to braid all this, that's too much of a pain.
Let's not do it.
Yeah. So this is your old harness. The other board, I don't know what you would call it. Secondary motherboard, something like that.
Well, that's a motherboard, and then this is the.
Oh no, I thought this was a motherboard.
Well,
either way,
that's a control panel. Right there.
All this is basically trash. Well, I keep it for spare parts.
Trash.
Hey, well, I mean the wire's good. I mean it's good wire.
We should definitely keep it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely worth keeping. I mean besides that, you never know. Say the PS360 goes bad. I'm not saying it would or anything, but I'm just saying in case like someone drowns it in water. Yeah, they'll keep your old parts, you can put it back together, so at least you have standard.
Tip, keep your PS360 away from water.
Yes.
And drowning. Well, we'll continue here.
Okay, so now that all the prep is done, Timmy's loosened the screws on the PS360 for the wires. Currently, Marco is starting to plug in wires from the wiring harness onto the buttons, and we'll go from there. Alright everyone, at this point, Timmy's going to route the hole for the wires at the moment. We've already got the PS360 all hooked up to the buttons and the joystick tested. That was actually a little easier than I thought it was going to be initially. And we've updated the firmware to 1.3. Hopefully the 1.4 firmware will be out soon for PS4 support, which is a big reason why we purchased it now. So next he's going to route it. We're going to run both the USB and the Dreamcast cable through a hole, and in a later mod we'll put the quick disconnect, but for the sake of function we're just going to do this now. So
yeah, for ease of access we're going to cut right here to run the holes through the cable box, just because to get to this one with the router you literally would either need to come in this way or chop this off. And while this isn't extremely necessary, one of the points that they kind of brought up, and you can kind of tell right here it's a little discolored, is I know it's a metal plate, but when you're really playing hard you got this flexing for support, so it's one of the reasons why you really don't want to cut this off if possible. So we're just going to kind of go in here off to the side a bit just so we're out of the way of the stick, because the wires are probably going to have to run real tight this way. Can't go under because the box has a floor, and if not you go through the bottom of the chassis. So
couldn't you go through the left side of it as well?
You could go through the left, but it's the same problem, especially since we're gonna have to run wires off this thing still to the board for the home button. So I really don't want to go there either. And then we still haven't exactly decided how, at this moment, we still haven't decided exactly how we're going to place in the PS360, because I'm going to bolt it onto one of these. Just have to see, once everything's done, how I'm going to fit everything.
Alright everyone, well, after much testing and wiring and all those sorts of things, it finally figured it out. Got the home button to work on the
PS3.
Yeah, on the PS3. Don't have Xbox 360.
Well, I have my Xbox 360. We can test that after in my room.
But that was set up, figured out the wiring and some of the grounding, which is a little weird.
The home button doesn't seem to work in Windows from what we've tested.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Just blame Games for Windows Live, I guess.
Basically you should.
Alright, so a little bit of explanation here on how to get this to work. You basically need 3 things from here. I left the wire, the complete harnesses on, just because I really didn't want to strip them down, especially it was kind of troubleshooting to get it to this point. But for most of it, you'll just be able to hack off the ends, just fold them over somewhere, keep them out of the way, no exposed wires. So on this, you're going to need 4 things. You're going to need the kill ground, the X Guild ground, and... Huh?
The VCC.
Oh yeah, the USB VCC. So you're basically going to take the top 2 of each harness and then plug them into the board. X Guild will go into Home Guide. You'll want to put your grounds on separate grounds. Read somewhere that it won't work otherwise. I did it just by...
Specifically, I don't mean to cut you off. Specifically, the kill ground, you want to ground it to either of the 2 punch set grounds.
Yeah, I grounded it near 4P, so that's just my suggestion. Just keep your grounds separate, at least on this. But yeah, you won't need anything off the CN5 port, so you can just take that out. You want to save yourself some room. So yeah, basically that's it. I mean, we tested it. It's working on the PC as far as everything else goes with the buttons.
And the Dreamcast.
And the Dreamcast, yep. We did try the Dreamcast, and that worked just fine too. And on the PS3. So now we're just going to button this up, place things where think they ought to be placed, and pretty much that's it. We're done.
And she's done. She's completely set up now for Dreamcast and multi-USB devices. Updated the firmware up to 1.3. Once the 1.4 update comes out, we'll be able to connect to the PS4. But she's ready for good play sessions, and Marcos is up next, hopefully with an LED mod. And like I said, all the parts here were purchased from FocusAttack.com. It's a little hard to see with the camera, but the sticker is actually under the plastic.
Doesn't help, it's white on white. So.
Yeah, white on white. But thanks to FocusAttack.com for all the parts and a great service. This stick, all of the parts, custom parts for this thing, all the parts for this thing were purchased through them and delivered extremely quickly. And this is the end result. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe and let us know what you think. Thank you.